This range-topping Skoda Superb, Laurent and Clement, costs £50,000, and for that money you could have this rather beautiful and glamorous Rolls-Royce Phantom from 2007. You're not showing your age, love. But which is the best buy? Well, to find out, I'm going to compare these cars in a series of very important scientific tests. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. This particular car is the Phantom 7. Before it, there were 6 other generations going all the way back to 1925. Coincidentally, that's the same year that Skoda was founded. In that time, Phantoms have been owned by the likes of Queen Elizabeth II, Elvis Presley, Elton John and John Lennon, who painted his Phantom 5 to look like this, which is a bit mad. But you've always needed to be insanely rich to afford one of these cars. Back in 2007, this particular Phantom cost around £250,000. And when you adjust for inflation...
Just crunch them, please. Crunch.
That's over £400,000 in today's money, or 8 times the price of this Skoda. But is this old Phantom still fit for a queen? Well, I'm going to see how much people think it's actually worth. Hello. I've got a very odd question for you.
Yes.
How much do you think my car's worth?
No idea.
Guess a number.
$500,000?
£500,000? £50,000.
£50,000.
I'm very smug about it. Excuse me, you've got a very, very nice car you have. So I wanted to ask you a question because you clearly know a little bit about cars if you picked one of those. I want you to guess how much you think I paid for this car.
£50,000?
Oh my goodness.
I have no idea.
You are
Absolutely no idea.
You're actually bang on the money.
Oh, okay.
I told you you knew about cars. How much was your Range Rover?
It was more than that. But, it's rubbish.
It's rubbish. Can you guess how much my car cost?
What, brand new or used?
Just how much I paid for it.
Probably about 65, 70.
65, 70, okay. It's quite a good guess. This Rolls-Royce, right?
Yeah.
How much do you think it looks worth?
300.
300 grand. I paid £50,000 for it.
Did you have a balaclava at the time?
No, this is what it cost. Absolute bargain, isn't it?
It's immaculate. Fair play to you.
Thank you.
Love it.
Matt Watson, yeah, that's right. Do you like my new car?
I love it. It's very sexy.
How much do you think I paid for it?
It's got to be £200,000.
£200,000. I paid 50 grand for it.
Good God. You've stolen it, didn't you?
I've literally stolen it. I think they'll be asking for it back at that price. Basically, everyone I spoke to thought this car was worth significantly more than £50,000. And that's one of the best things about Rolls-Royce. Even when their cars are almost 20 years old, they ooze sophistication in a way that other brands can only dream of. Just look at it. It's such a timeless, classic design. It doesn't look like an 18-year-old car. What has also helped is that the owner of this car has recently had it resprayed in their classic silver, which they have for their other fleet vehicles. And so there's no blemishes on it, obviously. It just looks brand new. It's a great colour as well. The original colour is this part lower down, and I must say I prefer this silver. You might have already noticed this registration plate, 1UJ, which could actually be worth more than the whole Phantom. It's owned by AW Lim Funeral Service, who have lent me this car to film. They also told me they've owned around 200 similar plates over the years, and they have a huge fleet of Rolls-Royces, which spans from the classic Phantom 2 right through to the latest Mark 8. So they're certainly a fan of this particular model, and it's easy to see why. The thing I like about Rolls-Royces is that unlike Bentleys, which have plastic grills, this is proper metal, just exquisite. Now, one thing that does give away the age of the car, the lights. So we have old school xenons down here rather than the very latest LED technology, but other than that, you wouldn't know. It doesn't look that different than the very latest Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now, one thing I have noticed on this car, and it's probably a result of the respray, well, two things actually. The first is this chrome work here. It's a bit lifted, just there on the bonnet. Obviously, they had to remove that for when they were doing the respray. And then this pinstripe here is actually a sticker. Normally on Rolls-Royces, it's painted, and it's painted by one man who travels around the world to touch up different cars with his special squirrel tail brush. Madness. Anyway, moving down the side, I mean, this is one of the things about the Rolls-Royce. Look at the way the doors open. You got rear hinge doors on the back, and of course they are very heavy, substantial feeling doors with beautiful handles and soft close front as well as at the back. And something really interesting about this particular car is we've got metal filaments in these front windows, obviously for quick demisting, so you don't have to use an ice scraper. Moving down the back, just a great shape, nice big alloy wheels, but also big tyres for a cushioning ride. And then finally the rear of the car, no exposed exhaust, because that would just be too vulgar. So far, this £50,000 Phantom is looking like the bargain of the century. But before I get too carried away, I need to see how people will react to my equally expensive but much less flashy Škoda Superb. I've got a quick question for you.
Go on, mate.
Can you guess how much I paid for my Škoda?
45 grand.
Oh, it's close, 50.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Do you think that's quite expensive?
You're from Carwell, are you?
Yeah.
I recognise you. I've got to shake your hand, mate.
How much do you think I paid for this car, brand new?
What car is it?
It's a Škoda,
Brand new.
brand new, guess.
40 for a brand new Škoda? Less?
30-ish?
30?
Yeah.
It was 50.
I don't know cars that well.
It's a Škoda. Have a quick look at it. Look at the inside. What do you think?
It looks very smart. 40,000.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, 50,000.
That's good because I know nothing about cars.
Yeah, but it gave off the right vibe.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
To be fair though, this black paint is a little bit anonymous. If you want the Superb to stand out a bit more, you need to go for one of the more vibrant colours such as this red or the urine coloured yellow. Still, if you go for the Laurent and Clement model, it does have some bits that help lift the look slightly, such as the cooler black grille. Moving down the side, you get the shiny Laurent and Clement badge. You also have chrome window surrounds, yeah, and unique design alloy wheels, which have been upgraded on this particular car from 18 to 19 inches. But what exactly is Laurent and Clement? Well, the name comes from Václav Laurent and Václav Clement, who started out making bicycles in 1895 before founding Škoda Autos in 1925. Now it's the name Škoda uses for its most luxurious top specification versions of its cars, a bit like Škoda's version of the Mercedes Maybach. And it means this Superb comes with a few significant upgrades that you don't get on the standard car. The normal Škoda Superb has a pretty nice interior in terms of the design. You get all the latest tech, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all wireless. You've got adaptive cruise control as standard, and generally build quality is lovely. However, I have found a creak, and it's a new car. Now this Laurent and Clement version adds some extra upgrades which help lift things a little bit, such as a Laurent and Clement steering wheel. It's nice. Oh, the leather does feel nice actually. Then you got Laurent and Clement special seats. Look, it's embossed in the headrest. They're just a bit more comfortable, and they're heated, they're cooled, and they have a massage function. Then there's this lovely cognac interior which you can have if you don't want black. You can get it black, or you can have it with this lovely colour. I like the brown. Actually, it's coloured using dye made from olive branches. Speaking of branches, you get wood on the dash as well. Is it really wood, or is it like fake wood? I don't know. What was that noise? It's like something else dropped or cracked. Weird. I'll tell you what's also weird, but in a good way, is that the Laurent and Clement model gets this in the back seats. Look, special headrests like that, so you can, you know, nod off when you're being driven somewhere. And this is a good car to be driven in because look at the space, loads of knee room, lots of headroom. It's so spacious, isn't it? And you've got like heated seats and rear climate control, and sun blinds to keep the sun off my pale skin. Oh. It's certainly nicer inside this top-of-the-range Superb than the standard model, but nothing really stands out as truly special. And that's to be expected. It's built by robots in the same factory on the same production line as a normal Superb. So there are limitations to what Škoda can change. Rolls-Royce likes to do things differently. For example, it only used 3 robots to build the Phantom 7, and all of them were in the paint shop. Everything else on this car was made by hand, which explains why it feels so exquisite. You see, nothing that you touch inside this cabin feels like £50,000. It all feels like hundreds of thousands of pounds. It's so luxurious. I love the vanity mirror. Look, it's huge. And then there's the space. This isn't even the long wheelbase version. Look how much room I've got. I thought the Škoda was spacious, but this is on another level. This rear bench seat, it's like a settee. And while you don't have those like gripper headrests, because you have leather, soft, yielding, lovely leather, all wrapping around the door and the side of the car, you can just sort of lean like that comfortably. I love it. In some ways, it's even better in the front for your chauffeur. Just the feel of the steering wheel, the design, the leather everywhere. I like the way that you have physical dials and buttons to control the climate, and these weird slider switches, though there's always a guessing game of what exactly they do. I'm not sure. I like the way that some of the buttons are like hidden away. For instance, these are the controls for the seats. And then there's the damping of some of the drawers and stuff, look. Oh, that is so satisfying, the way the ashtray opens. Look at the quality, the cigarette lighter. Sorry, the cigar lighter. Yes, great. Let's just try something else. So there's another drawer here. Look at that. And what could be in here, I wonder? There's a keypad for a mobile phone. Let me just check something. So in here, look, it's an old school Nokia. That's retro, isn't it? And we also have some other storage. If I press this button, that's your main glove box. And then this one with a lock in it is your lockable cooled glove box. And that brings you on to something that's not so good about the Phantom, boot space. Rolls-Royce says its 460 litre boot can carry 4 4-size golf clubs, which sounds like a lot. But what if you need to carry 5 sets of golf clubs, or you don't even like golf? Well, the superb 645 litre boot can easily carry 8 suitcases. So how many can I fit in the Phantom? One less suitcase. But there's a very good reason for this. Škoda has always focused on making cars as practical as they can possibly be. And by doing this, it invented some very cool things I'll show you later on. But since Rolls-Royce was founded over a century ago, it's been working towards something completely different. Engineering perfection. To illustrate this, I have £2 coins. I'm going to put a £1 coin on each car's engine. So this is the Rolls. Go on, stay up. Stay up, step. Yep. And then I'm going to put one here on the Škoda. Okay, stay. Come on. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to get 2 coin catchers. These are my coin butlers. If you get ready, and when the coins fall over, if they even fall over, we have people to catch them and put them upright. Now what I'm going to do is start the Škoda engine, and we're going to start the Rolls-Royce, and we'll see how long the coins stay standing. Then I'm going to tell you the information you need to know about these engines. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start the Škoda, start the Rolls. So yeah, the coin's gone down on the Škoda already. Right, so in the Škoda we've got a 2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel, puts out 190 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque, drives all 4 wheels via a 7-speed automatic gearbox. In the Rolls-Royce, you have a 6.75 litre twin-turbo V12 with 460 horsepower and 720 newton meters of torque, driving the rear wheels via a 6-speed automatic gearbox. Give the Rolls some revs. It's not even falling over now. Has that stayed up? Look, the Škoda's finally stayed up. Oh no, the Rolls' coin fell over with a bit of revving. This even on tick over. Wait, there we go. No. Right, give it some more revs. More. Right, I think it's clear. The Rolls-Royce wins the coin test. But what about the acceleration test? Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it into low mode so we start off in first gear, not second. Brake boost, off we go. It's going. There we go, that's a time. 6.9 seconds. I think that's more than adequate. There's something surprising with this Škoda. So if I press the car icon, hit vehicle again, swipe through to brakes, turn the stability control system to sport. There we go. And now, going to sport mode for the gearbox, I should be able to engage launch control. Left on the brake, floor the throttle, launch control, madness. Go on. What are you going to do, car? There we go. 0 to 60, 6.9 seconds. It's not bad when you think that this 2 litre diesel Škoda Superb accelerates at the same speed as a 6.7 litre twin turbo V12 in a Rolls-Royce. But what they're definitely not is similar in size, and to see the difference I'm going to use my specialist measuring gear. The Škoda is 4.9 metres long. The Rolls-Royce is 5.8 metres long. That's almost a metre longer, about the same size as my car. Including door mirrors, the Rolls-Royce is 2 metres wide exactly. No way. The Škoda is actually wider than the Rolls at 2.1 metres. The Škoda is 1.5 metres tall. The Rolls is 1.7 metres tall. But this Phantom isn't just taller than the Superb, it's even taller than a Škoda Kodiaq, and that's the biggest SUV the Czech company makes. And this has a huge impact on how much it weighs. This Superb tips the scales 1,664 kilograms, which is pretty light for a big diesel saloon with four-wheel drive. This Phantom, however, weighs a whopping 2,485 kilograms, and that could have a drastic effect on my next test.
Emergency stop time from 60 miles an hour. What will the distance be? That was a rather impressive 34 metres. That is very good. I'm worried about this, but let's do it anyway. Oh, a lot of ABS, a lot of ABS. Is that going to be a long distance? 43 metres in the dry. Dear. That's what you'd expect in the wet from most cars. In fact, it's quite long for a normal car in the wet.
But Rolls-Royce doesn't really care about sporty driving. It's all about ultimate luxury. And there are plenty of very special features in this car that feel supremely luxurious, even by today's standards.
You have a stylish Rolls-Royce clock here in the centre of the dash, but when you open this compartment here for the iDrive controller, it flips around to the screen, though obviously the tech is a bit dated. You have these picnic tables, or maybe the work tables, here in the back of the car, but they also double as TV screens. You don't have plasticky grab handles, you have leather grab straps, and look, they're damped. Oh, satisfying. At the press of a button, you can make the flying lady go down on you. Oh. Got a crap chauffeur and can't be bothered to reach the door to shut it? Press this button. And finally, there are umbrellas in the rear doors. And they are mighty fine umbrellas. Oh, quality. But not so fast, Rolls-Royce, because the Škoda Superb also has umbrellas in its doors. Look! Though, they're not quite so posh. Also, while the Rolls-Royce may have those screens in the back, in the Škoda, we have these bits of plastic. They're useful because look, how's this going? And there, look! Put my phone in it. Can I? Where's the? Oh, there we go. The luxury. Yeah. And who needs the Rolls-Royce's heating elements in the front windows when you've got an ice scraper with you the whole time? Oh, and this won't break and cost you thousands to fix. And look, if you need to top up your screen wash, the top of it has an inbuilt funnel, so you don't get spilling too much. And finally, the car comes with this little cleaner here, which you can use to remove the smudges from the touchscreen. That's better. I've already reviewed the Škoda Superb and I gave it my top mark, the go right ahead and buy it. And that's because it just does everything it's supposed to do so very well. It's a comfy cruiser, it's good on the motorway, it handles twisty roads well, it's comfy, quiet, does everything that it's supposed to. Plus, despite being big and spacious, it actually feels like a smaller car when you're driving it, so it's quite manoeuvrable in town and it's not intimidating in any way, shape or form.
As I'll demonstrate with my next test.
The objective is to turn around in a single manoeuvre. A van behind me. Hopefully they will give me some leeway. Now if it makes it round, this is perfect proof that this is a car that drives smaller than it looks. And I mean that in a good way, not as in it feels like a cheap small car. Just so easy.
And things get even better when you're cruising, mainly because of this car's excellent 2-litre diesel engine.
It's my favourite, it suits the car perfectly. You know, it's got enough punch when you want to overtake, it's good for lazy cruising at speed, it's reasonably smooth, and it gives you excellent economy. Makes you feel smug, actually. Yeah, feel like you're winning. The only giveaway really that it's a diesel is when you're stationary and it's at idle, because then it's a bit rattly like a van engine and you do feel the vibes coming through the pedals and the steering wheel. Or if the stop-start kicks in, it stops that, but then when the engine restarts, you get a sudden jolt as that diesel suddenly comes into life. Overall though, it's a really, really good competent car, and it's great value for money. And that just brings you back to the fact you are still driving a Škoda, which is a very good but also a very much everyday kind of car. And the thing about this Laurent Clement model is that you get into a law of diminishing returns. You're spending more and more money to add bits and bits onto what ultimately is just at the end of the day a Škoda. And I don't know anything bad about Škoda, but take the four-wheel drive system of this car, for instance. You think it's going to be really useful to have that, but actually you're probably only ever going to benefit from it one day of the year at best, when it's really snowy and you forgot to fit winter tyres and you do need that extra bit of traction to get off your driveway. Also, this interior, I love the brown cognac interior. It's lovely, but it's a little bit like getting yourself all dressed up just to go to the supermarket. Then there's these upgraded seats, which are very, very comfy, and I like the fact that they're cooled, especially on a hot day today. Plus, they've even got a massage function. It's a bit like having an original Barcelona chair in a room at the Premier Inn. Pointless. But that doesn't mean that having a Škoda Superb is pointless. Just the fact that throwing lots of money at it to get some extra kit doesn't make sense for the type of car it is. And really, the standard car is just so good as it is. The only thing you really want to add to it is the adaptive dampers of this car, which you do get as standard on the Laurent Clement model, because they just add an extra layer of sophistication to the way this car drives, makes it more comfortable. It feels a bit more like a premium model such as an Audi in the way that it goes down the road. But just pay the extra and get that fitted optionally to the standard model. To be brutally honest, being a Škoda, this Superb is never going to be as ultimately desirable as an Audi. And while this isn't the kind of car that I actively want or desire, I do massively admire it. You know, I recommend it to lots of people, and I admire the people that do make the right choice and buy one of these cars. They're the kind of people that make sound financial decisions. They're the kind of people that invest in index trackers rather than trying to show off by beating the market day trading. They know in the long run that by going for this Škoda, they're going to be better off. Thing is, with this Rolls-Royce, you feel like you've already won at life. You've cashed in your investments and you're just reaping the rewards, the fruits of your labour. There's something very special about driving this car. I mean, you can already see the position I'm in. I'm just like super chilled. Now, whereas the Škoda takes the pain out of driving and long drives, this makes the very act of driving an absolute pleasure. It's all down to the way the suspension just glides this car down the road. You don't feel like you're actually touching the surface itself. It's more like you're just hovering just above it. It's so floaty, so just lovely. The only giveaway that your wheels are actually touching the ground is that you do occasionally get the odd muted thump from the suspension. Other than that, there is absolutely no external noise entering the inside of this car. So serene. Now, because of this, the car sort of puts you into this like dream-like state, almost like that same sensation you get when you're having a massage. And it doesn't even matter if you encounter some traffic because you're just so chilled. It helps that you're just sat in such wonderful surroundings. In fact, it's more like being on a yacht than being sat in a car. That huge bonnet, the way you've got that mascot on the bow, it actually feels like you're holding a tiller rather than a car's steering wheel. It is very, very ship-like. You're definitely more of a captain than a driver. Then there's the fact when you try to hustle this thing down a twisty road or maneuver around town, it does take some navigating. You have to concentrate and maybe take things a little bit slower than you would in a normal car. I've got a feeling this is not going to go too well. I do have plenty of space because there's no cars parked too close to the edge of the road, but I've got a van behind me. I've got another car waiting. I think I might go up the curb. Oh no, this is not great. Hopefully not going to get into too much trouble with other road users. They might forgive me because I'm in a Rolls-Royce and it's all going to be fine. There we go. I wasn't too stressed. I think people just assume that you might be royalty or very important, so they're willing to wait for you in a Rolls-Royce. If I'd done that in another brand, say a BMW, which obviously own Rolls-Royce, I'd have got beeped.
But I don't think I'd care, because this car makes you feel so incredibly relaxed, even in stressful situations.
There's something about the Rolls-Royce that just makes it feel like you've got all the time in the world, and if you really do need to get a move on, you just floor your throttle, the smooth gearbox and engine respond, and it just pitches its nose skyward and absolutely buggers off full steam ahead. It's quite frightening just how much propulsion you have with this car. But the thing that really amazes me about this car is the fact that despite being 18 years old, not a single rattle nor squeak. It's madness. It's like it's new. But there is one thing there, lurking deep in your subconscious is the knowledge that you have bought a £300,000 when new car for £50,000. The reason it is £50,000 is because should anything go wrong with it, you're probably going to have to pay that again to get it fixed. And that means you're never quite as relaxed as you think you are, because there's always just a low level of cortisol still lurking in your veins.
But is that enough to put you off buying an almost 20-year-old Rolls-Royce? Or should you just consider a luxury Lauren & Clement Škoda instead?
Well, the Škoda Superb, it's an absolutely brilliant practical family car, a great daily driver, though I pick one of the versions lower down in the range because this range-topping Lauren & Clement model is just a bit too punchy at £50,000. On the flip side though, this Rolls-Royce Phantom is an absolute steal at £50,000. Do you know what? I never thought I'd see the day when I'd say that a Rolls-Royce Phantom is better value for money than a Škoda Superb. But here we are, and that's why the Roller wins this test. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.